Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, viewers. Team Elevate, how are you doing? I am happy to be back, and today I am happy to introduce you and welcome you back to Career Growth with Karen, which is the channel where we grow, we progress, and we make sure that we are getting fulfilled and satisfied in our careers. So if that's what you're looking for, then you're in the right place. Today, I will be taking you through a very important topic, and this is just what you need to know about what the Employment Act says about your career. Guys, people perish because of lack of knowledge, and I'm here to give you information about the labor law and the interesting things that it says about your career. So let's get started. This is Career Growth with Karen. Yeah, so as I have mentioned, guys, today we are talking about what does the law say about your career? What does it say about your employment? Some of you are terminated, you don't know that the law is for you. This and that happens in the workplace, and you don't know what the law says about it. So I'm here to educate you. And should you also be in HR, please be educated. This is going to be a very brief video. Of course, the Employment Act says so much about employment, but I'm only picking the key things. And there are some of you who you say some things and I'm wondering, Kwani, you don't know the law? You do not know what the law says. So here I am to educate you, and I'll only be touching on 6 things which the law says about your career. Now, the first one is the very obvious, guys. It's leave. The Employment Act allows you to have 21 days, at a minimum, 21 days of paid leave within a year. And in fact, it goes further to ask that you take 2 weeks continuous leave. That is 10 days, must be taken continuous leave. And this is because the Act cares about your rest. But some of you don't even care about your rest as much as the Act cares about your rest. So what am I trying to say? Should you be employed anywhere where it is formal employment here in this country and you're not getting your 21 days of leave per year, please note that you can sue your employer, but not necessarily to sue. Please go to HR and request that you be given your 21 days entitlement of leave. And this applies even when during probation. Of course, there are some companies that will tell you during probation you cannot go on leave, but you still accrue the leave. You may accrue the leave but not take it, and take it after probation. So please, 21 days of leave every year belongs to you. The second one is maternity and paternity leave. 90 days, or rather 3 months, and it is 90 calendar days for the female employee, and it is 2 weeks for the male employee. Again, guys, this is leave that is due to you. So anytime you feel like there is an employer who wants to stand in the way of your maternity or your paternity leave, please, you need to be aware that the Employment Act is for you, and it has addressed this matter. And taking maternity or paternity leave should not be grounds for discrimination. For example, you shouldn't miss out on a promotion simply because you're on maternity leave. You shouldn't miss out on any benefits because you're on maternity leave. So any time you take maternity or paternity leave, it should not affect the other general conditions and benefits that your employment brings with you. The third thing, and very exciting, is adoption leave of 1 month. Guys, the Act allows us to take adoption leave of 1 month every time you are adopting a child. Of course, all these things come with documentation. You need to provide the justification, and for adoption, there is an official adoption process which goes on in the country, and you are given the paperwork that shows that actually you're going through the process of adopting a child. And the Employment Act allows you 1 month of leave. Whether you're a female employee or a male employee, you have 1 month of leave to acclimatize with your new child or the new addition to your family once you adopt. So again, feel free to ask for this leave every time you are going through the process of adoption. The fourth thing is the right to be heard before termination, whether it is on disciplinary grounds or it is on performance grounds. So you have a right to be heard. Guys, even if there is a disciplinary matter or a performance issue and your employer wants to terminate you, they cannot just terminate you like you get a termination, or some of them even they terminate by phone call or by WhatsApp message, or by simply, you're locked out of the access. You go and log into your email and you realize you can't. It's not supposed to be like that. Even if it's a disciplinary matter or a performance issue, even if it's during probation, your employer owes to give you the right to to speak, you have the right to be heard. And that means a disciplinary meeting has to be held where you can go in, you can defend yourself. And in this meeting, you are allowed to bring in any witnesses. You are allowed to bring in anybody, an official from the trade union, if you belong to, from the labor union, if you belong to any union. You are allowed to justify yourself. Okay, you can put up your case. So don't think you're helpless anytime there is a disciplinary matter or there is a performance issue. You must be heard, and the law protects you around that. The fifth thing is that you have 7 days of sick leave with full pay and 7 days of sick leave with half pay in a year. And let me tell you something about this. I know sometimes you feel like there are some people who every time you're unwell, you feel like now I'm going to lose my job because I'm unwell and I don't know what's going to happen. If I don't go to work for a period of time, my employer is going to get rid of me. The law actually says in 1 year, you can take 7 days of sick leave on full pay and another 7 days on half pay. And further to that, there is another regulation, because we don't just rely on the Employment Act only. There are other acts, like there is the Regulation of Remuneration, there's the Wages Act, and all of those acts. One of those other acts actually gives 30 days. It talks about 30 days sick leave on full pay and 15 days on half pay. Now, obviously, as an employer, it is better that you have the higher one. But in the event you find that your employer wants to do away with you or to terminate you simply because you've been away for 4 days on sick leave, again, you must know that the law is there protecting you around that. The last thing is that you need to work at most 6 days a week. Again, that is what the law says, that you must work at least at most 6 days a week, meaning each of you is entitled to 1 rest day per week. I hear some people, especially in supermarkets and shops and these retail places, you're working 7 days a week. Even hotels, you're working 7 days a week. It is illegal. It is illegal. The law allows you to have 1 rest day. The rest day doesn't have to be Sunday or Saturday. Again, this is another thing. Some people will come and tell you, imagine I'm being told to work on Sunday. Does the law say that I should work on Sunday? The law just says you should have 1 day of rest. So if your employer says that 1 day of rest is Thursday or it's Tuesday, that is okay. And it is for you to agree to those terms. But you must know that at least at the bare minimum in a week, you must have 1 rest day. And having said that, another thing that is tied to all these rest days is overtime. I know most of you or some of you have overtime policies in your companies, but I don't know how overtime is paid, because I've looked at some HR policies and they only give you overtime. Like, for example, if your hourly wage is, let's say, 3,000, they give you overtime. If you work for 1 more hour, they give you another 3,000. That's not how overtime should work. Overtime is at a rate of 1.5%, or rather 1.5 times your normal working pay on excess hours during a normal working day. For example, if it is a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, a normal working day, you should close at 5. But today, because there is excess work, you do overtime for 1 more hour. So you close at 6. For that 1 hour, you are entitled not to 3,000, but to 4,500. And if you're doing this overtime during a weekend or a public holiday when you're not supposed to work, for example, it's Christmas and you work on Christmas, now you're entitled to overtime at the rate of 2 times. That means if your hourly wage is 3,000, then your hourly wage at that point will be 6,000, because it's either a holiday or a weekend. And in those moments, the Act allows you to take 2 times of overtime of your hourly wage. I hope I have educated you. That is all I had for today. And I know some of you are gurus at the Employment Act, so please let us know down below in the comments what you also found interesting from the Employment Act. Every time I read it, I find something that is very interesting, and I just see how much I am covered as far as my employment is concerned. So let me know down below, comment if you have been in employer situations where these minimum conditions as are in the Employment Act are not adhered to. Let me know. Guys, please follow me on my social media, Career Growth with Karen on Instagram, Career Growth with Karen here on YouTube where you're watching me. Please bring your crowd. And Karen Olege in Facebook and Karen Olege on LinkedIn. Remember our Wednesday LinkedIn Lives. Please do not forget. Make sure that you log into the next one. And until next time, see you.